G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel, and the EPL's back and I'm back. I can't wait to start talking about the upcoming game between Arsenal and Liverpool. Now I know everybody's into the international scene and they love their international football, but not me, you know what I mean? Not really the biggest fan, don't get me wrong. It's good to see the players representing their clubs. You can see what kind of form they're in and the call-ups and such and all that, but you know what, for me, I see international format. I see an international competition coming up. I see a whole bunch of Arsenal players, and I start thinking, shit, a whole bunch of injuries. And I'm not interested in injuries. I don't need injuries right now. I need all the players out in the field because we're facing Liverpool. That's right, we are facing Liverpool. Big game against Liverpool. They're in a bit of a bad spell. We're in a kind of a good spell. They've dropped some points. We've been getting points here and there, and let's be honest, both teams are going to be up for this. Both teams are going to be going at it. Now look, we look at the standings on the ladder at the moment, right? We look at the ladder and you don't see too much, separating both Arsenal and Liverpool. See, right now, we've both won 6 games. The draws, well, of course, Liverpool have got 4, we got 2. And this is where the difference is. The losses. Liverpool only 1 loss and unfortunately Arsenal have got themselves 3. You know what I mean? Now, goals for and goals against. How scary is that? This is a team that loves to score goals. These guys score goals for shits and giggles. They come in there and decimate teams. And you know what? 5 of them goals are thanks to Man United. But anyway, won't go there. Goal against, of course, 11 for them, 13 for us. We're breaking pretty even. But you know what? I look at that and I think they've had 11 goals scored against them. A team that's supposed to be going towards, winning a Premier League title. They've already got 11 goals scored against them. We've only got 13. Now, don't forget, we're supposed to be in dismal form, and we're supposed to be looking at relegation. We were looking at a relegation battle at one stage. So, you know what? That's one, it's a little bit of a positive there. I can see that goals can be scored against Liverpool. Anyway, only thing that separates us and Liverpool right now, of course, is the goal difference and 2 points. Positions on the table, well, 4th and 5th respectively. We get this win and we jump them, guys. And hey, guess what? None of the pundits are going to be talking about that. None of the pundits are going to be talking about that because all the pundits like to do is chat shit about Arsenal. And that's the best thing. They just keep chatting shit about us. And I want that to happen because every time they've chatted shit about us, right? They've chatted shit about us. We've come out and performed. They chatted shit about us against when it came to the Leicester game. I'm a bit excited. Sorry, guys. They chatted some more shit when it came to the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa, wonderful form, great team, all this crap, right? Yeah, wonderful. What happened there? Yeah? So pundits out there, write us off. Write us off in this game. We've got no fucking hope, okay? No fucking hope to beating Liverpool. Fuck me. Honestly, these pundits, they really fucking shit me. They really shit me, guys. Write us off every fucking time. Now, I'm not saying we're in the best of form. I'm not saying that we're going to win the league. I'm just saying we've got a chance at possibly getting 1 point or maybe even 3 against Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, we could also lose, but it's not like there's no hope. Okay, I hate to hear it when it's like, oh, this is just written in stone. Arsenal are going to lose to Leicester. Arsenal are going to lose to this, and Arsenal are going to lose to that. Well, guess what? We didn't. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to look at the last 3 games between that Arsenal have had and both Liverpool have had, respectively. Now, look, it does paint a prettier picture for us, yeah? But look, let's have a look. Let's have a look at these 3 games, and let's break them down, both ends, yeah? So, Liverpool had a great game against Man United. I think everybody loved that game. I mean, it was 5-0. Man United absolutely decimated. But look, my opinion, they didn't play a real Man United. They played a weakened Man United, a Man United without direction, without a coach, without a chance in hell against any one of the top 4 teams. Okay, and that's calling it the way it is. Great squad, Man United, but no leadership, and of course, their coach has not been great for them. So, of course, they pretty much ate a 5-0 loss. Moving on, they played Brighton. Now, this game against Brighton was big. The game against Brighton, Liverpool showed a chink in their armour. They were winning this game and allowed Brighton to get back into it and were lucky not to lose this game. Now, don't get me wrong, in this game, if anyone watched it, honestly, Trent Alexander Arnold was out of position once or twice. Early on, Trossard had actually a shot on goal that Trent Alexander Arnold allowed pretty much. Now, in this game, we saw weaknesses. We saw that Liverpool's midfield can be driven through, and it was driven through by Brighton. right? Now, Brighton is that team that chops and changes of formations and, of course, comes in respectively against any team. Harry Potter got his team playing wonderful football and they adapt to anyone else's. Moving on, they played West Ham recently. And against West Ham, yep, guess what? That was a loss. So they've gone into a win, a draw, and a loss in their last three. The loss against West Ham was massive. They were trying to fight back in this game all around. And Trent Alexander Arnold, again, was kind of at fault for a couple of these goals. Now, two of these goals were scored off set pieces, okay? Two of them were set pieces, and that's great for us because we score off set pieces, and hopefully we can score on a couple on them. Now, don't get me wrong, West Ham took the game to Liverpool, went through their midfield, of course, drove through their midfield, scored themselves 3 goals, and honestly, they look like the stronger team. Now, look, guys, I know that that's going to look very much one-sided. Oh, Liverpool, a win against United, a draw against Brighton, a loss against West Ham. But look at the previous games in the season. I'm with you guys on that. But on current form, and their last 3 games, they're not looking great. They're not going to be peaking in confidence, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying they're a crap team. Far from it. They're a wonderful team, right? Wonderful team. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. In the last 2 games, they show chinks in their armour, cracks, and that's going to be hurting them a little bit. They're going to be wondering, wait a minute, we've just had teams like West Ham and Brighton come along and tear us up a little bit, especially West Ham. They tore them up. They absolutely tore them up. So hopefully we can come in and do the same. Now, look, let's have a look at our last 3 games real quick and wrap it up. Yeah? Okay, here we go. So our last 3 games were, yep, you guessed it, Aston Villa 3-1. Oh, yeah, we couldn't beat Aston Villa. They're in wonderful form. Leicester 2-0. 2-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. George Graham style football. Scored a goal, sit back, relax. We won against Leicester. We were ridden off against Leicester. And the pundits, well, thank you very much. Every time you write us off, we show up. Now, the game against Watford, it was a 1-0. Not a great performance, guys. Not a great performance. And I'll be honest with you, against Watford, this is where most Liverpool fans are going to say, that was wonderful. They saw us against Watford and they saw that we weren't clinical, that we wasted opportunities, and they're going to want us to continue to do the same. That's going to fall straight into that'll make us fall straight into Liverpool's hands. There's not going to be too many chances that we're going to be able to create in this game against Liverpool, right? Don't get me wrong, they can be got at. But we got to press them from the get-go. We need to outmuscle them. And I know you guys have heard that a million times. Every single time. Steve says, outmuscle teams, hammer teams, blah, 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 rah, rah, rah. But that's the key to winning these games. We need to show that physically, we're going to take the game to you because we don't have, the quality up front to finish off these games. I hate to say it, guys, but Liverpool's quality up front, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 9 out of 10, and we're sitting right now at a dismal 4. Remember, we got Aubameyang and Lacazette up front, and the 4's being nice, yeah? Anyway, look, moving forward, Liverpool honestly have got a few injuries now. Injuries to Liverpool. They've got injuries for, now guess this. Now Firmino's out. Okay, we all know Firmino's out. Firmino's going to be out for a while. Naby Keita's out. Now Keita hasn't come back. Oh, did come back against Brighton, but was taken off early. And I think ever since that tackle with when him and Paul Pogba played in, him and Paul Pogba came together against Man United. I think Pogba came in with a 2-footer challenge, and that pretty much ended Keita. Now he hasn't come back, and he hasn't been. Well, he did come back against Brighton again, but of course he's been out for the last few. Now I'm hoping that Keita won't be back for this game. I really do, because he's a wonderful midfielder, and that's one player we don't want on the field for them. Now James Milner had a bit of a hamstring injury, and I don't know if he's going to be back into this game. Now, honestly, James Milner is a great player for Liverpool, and hopefully he won't show. I've heard also that Mane picked up a knock on international duty. Now, look, it's only a slight knock, and from what I'm hearing, he did train on Tuesday. So I think we're going to see Mane playing. Hendo as well. Hendo, after that game against Albania, apparently got a bit of a knock, and he's been training on his own at Liverpool. Of course, there have been reports and all this kind of stuff. So Hendo and Mane, small knocks, but I think they're going to be starting against us. Now, I see that Robertson also got himself a little bit of a tap on international duty, and this is why I hate international football. Is because these teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, United, they send out all these players, right? And I'm saying Arsenal, all these players. Anyway, all these players, right? And then they come back injured. And then that could cost us a season. Like right now, this international break could cost Liverpool 3 points against us. Now, I know 3 points, it's only the start of the season, but those 3 points are valuable 3 points that they're going to probably need going towards the end of the season. Looking at Chelsea, looking at City, these teams are not, they're not mucking about too much. City have dropped points, Chelsea have dropped points, but not going to keep doing this. So Liverpool need to take advantage of this now, play us, and hopefully get 3. But you know what? If they keep copping injuries like they are, you never know, you never know. Now, look, our guys have been great on international duty, but we did get a knock to a Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I haven't rated him. I don't rate Aubameyang. I'm not saying he's the worst player in the world, but he's far from the best. Now, unfortunately, he's our only player up front that can actually put the ball in the back of the net. Lacazette, not really one of those strikers that's going to ping you in 30 goals a season, 25 goals a season. Not going to happen, right? And we're going to need Aubameyang in this game. Hate to say it, we don't have a better option. Martinelli is a great player, but you know what? You're not going to grab Martinelli, who's played fuck all football for the start in this season, and then chuck him in against Liverpool. Now, if Aubameyang is injured, well, that's exactly what's going to bloody happen. Unless Arteta decides to chuck in an Nketiah, and I can see him doing that shit. You know what I mean? Even though Nketiah has apparently asked to be transferred. Whatever, however, whenever. Now, the other issue that we've got is Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey's been injured now for a couple of weeks. Now, he's missed out on international duty. He missed out on the game against Watford. Now, I'm hoping and praying that this guy's going to come back. Now, I haven't heard too much about the injury itself. It's supposed to be a light knock, but I don't know if they're playing safe and keeping him away from international duty, or if it's an actual knock and he can't actually perform. Now, hopefully Partey can show up in this game because we do need him in the midfield. I want to be able to drive through Liverpool's midfield much like West Ham and Brighton did. They drove through it like they were a bloody Mack truck. Straight in. See you later. Merry Christmas. And then put pressure on the back line. Now, Virgil Van Dyke's a great centre-back, but he's always got a partner next to him that's a bit 50-50 and wayward. He makes his partners look good, right? Virgil Van Dyke, great defender. His partners, not really that, not flash and fantastic. But what can we say to that, right? Now, I'm going to go into the attack zones at the moment. I want to look at attack zones for Liverpool and Arsenal right now. Now, Liverpool and Arsenal, two very different teams. We're playing a 4-4-2. They're playing a 4-3-3 respectively. And you know what? They're going to continue to play a 4-3-3. There's one thing we know is Jurgen Klopp is not changing something that's working. Let's be honest. Now, I know the last 2 games it's been a bit wayward, but it's worked for the last few seasons. And I do believe that he's not going to go and change it against Arsenal. Now, if you look at the images that are coming up right now, you're going to notice that Liverpool and Arsenal slightly different when it comes to their attack mindset. Now, Liverpool attack percentage on the left-hand side is only 32%. Look at Arsenal, of course. You can see us there. The one thing that I find a little bit how you going is the right-hand side for Liverpool. Now, we all know what's happening there. It's bloody Mo Salah, isn't it? Wonderful player. Great form. On the other hand, our right-hand side, Bukayo Saka, 38%. We've been running down that side. Now, it looks a bit how you're going for us because it looks like 37% on the left, 38 on the right, where it feels like it's more like 40 on the right and maybe 30 on the left. But anyway, those are the stats and that's what they are. Now, look, we all know Salah is going to be the man. He's going to be the guy who's going to create. But let's be honest. Against West Ham, he had a hard game against West Ham. Now, was it that he just wasn't in the best of form, or was it that he was kind of rough? You know, he was getting a bit of rough treatment. Maybe he'd been put off his game a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe West Ham did a job on him. Now, Salah's going to be very hard to shut down. I'm going to be honest with you. Very honest with you. Salah, difficult to break down, difficult to shut down, guys. What can I say? He's a wonderful player. He's in great form. And to be perfectly honest, we're going to have to do a number on him. We're going to have to hammer him too, and we're going to have to put him off his game. Now, I want to do the same to Mane. I want Mane and Salah to cop hits left, right, and centre. Now, I know Takahiro hasn't got that in him, but I know Ben White. He's the kind of guy who likes taking players out. I've noticed it in him. He's got a little bit of a roughneck look. You know, gets in there, that English style, hammer in. And what I know is on the left-hand side, well, you know, Tavares could probably do a bit of a number on Salah. Or will it be Tavares? Good question, eh? We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a comparative between players now. I'm going to try to wrap it quick. I'm going to show you their best players in midfield, defence, goalkeeper, and attack, and we're going to compare some of ours, right? Now, look at the screen that just popped up, right? I'm going to be comparing goalkeepers now. Check this out. We'll start off with goalkeepers. I'll leave them up there, and we'll just run through it like it is now, yeah? Now, look at Alisson's stats and look at Ramsdale's stats. But we've got Alisson's appearances at 10. Ramsdale at 8. The saves. Ramsdale's actually made more saves than Alisson. 25 to 23. High claims. Ramsdale, again, 10 to 7. Now, clean sheets, they're looking even, 5 apiece. Goals conceded. Now, this is where it's interesting. Ramsdale's only conceded 4, whereas Alisson has conceded 11. Now, of course, Alisson has played more games. But in the last few games, Liverpool have had a very hard time. They've actually conceded a fair few goals. In their last games, right, I'll be perfectly honest, in the last 3 games, Liverpool have conceded 4 goals. Now, that wouldn't have helped this statistic for Alisson. I mean, Arsenal, to be perfectly honest, in their last 3 games, well, let's call it what it is. We only conceded 1, right? So looking at these stats, you look at the 2 goalkeepers. Of course, Alisson, proven. Alisson's been there. He's a brick wall. But it's not like Ramsdale's any pushover. He's had some pretty good minutes up there for England as well. Yeah, I know it wasn't against the best team, but he's going to be jumping for joy for that. Now, moving on. We look at their best centre-back and our best centre-back. Virgil Van Dyke, probably the best centre-back in the world right now. And, well, our best centre-back, Gabriel, also in wonderful form, to be honest. Now, Van Dijk's had 11 appearances this season. Gabriel, 8. The tackle count for Gabriel and Virgil van Dijk, you can see it. Gabriel leading it 10 to 4. Clearances, almost even, 36 to 34. Duels 1 is where we're going to see a little bit more strength in Van Dijk when it comes to than when it comes to Gabriel. Now, if you look at the game, at the appearances, of course, Van Dijk's got 3 more appearances than Gabriel. And we could probably think to ourselves that these numbers would be pretty even. Even the tackle count's actually more on Gabriel's side if Gabriel had more games under his belt. Now, everyone's talking about Virgil van Dijk being a wonderful player, blah, blah, blah. Is it because he plays for Liverpool? Because if you look at our numbers, Gabriel's been a rock-solid defender for Arsenal, much like Van Dijk's been a rock-solid defender for Liverpool. Calling a spade, guys. Look, I'm just calling a spade. Van Dijk's great, but so is Gabriel. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to sit there and knock my defender? No, I'm not my defender. I know he's a good defender. And the good thing about Gabriel is he's got a better partner. Ben White beside him is going to be a lot better than Matip. Let's call it like it is, right? Let's just call it what it is. Gabriel and White is a better centre-back pairing than Van Dijk and Matip. Van Dijk being up here, Gabriel being here, and White being here, and Matip being bloody down here. All right? Let's just call a spade a spade. I'm sorry. I love my team. All right? All right. Look, I'm going to do another comparative. Check out this screen, guys. Check this one out, yeah? All right. Middle of the park. Thomas Partey and Fabinho. Now, I'm praying that Partey is going to play this game. Now, we know Fabinho will. Now, Fabinho is key to Liverpool's midfield. He's a wonderful midfielder. But so is Partey. These 2 players almost cut from the same cloth. Almost. 7 appearances each. Hey, look at that. Both got 1 goal. Now, Fabinho, 8 shots. Partey, 16. So we can all say that Fabinho is probably a lot better when it comes to taking shots on goal. He doesn't take a shitload. He just takes what he needs to take. Now, the tackle success rate here, I looked at that and I thought to myself, bloody hell, 79% to 57. Partey on 14 tackles, Fabinho on 7. Now, Partey is a CDM and Fabinho in the middle of the park, well, that's a position he's going to be playing. I think he's going to be playing as more of a defensive role as well. And right now, when we look at those stats, maybe Partey a little bit better defensively. Even the duels 1, guys. 26 to 24, pretty even there. Pretty even. So looking at the middle of the park, Partey, Fabinho, matched up pretty evenly. Especially on the stats. Okay. And when it comes to the appearances too, God help us. If Partey plays in this game, it'll be great. All right, that's 1 player we need on the pitch, including Aubameyang. Now look at the next screen that's coming up, guys. Okay. I'm going to leave this one up there. I'm going to compare the attacking threats now real quick. Yeah. Mane and Emile Smith-Rowe. Mane, a great player. Emile Smith-Rowe in great form. Emile Smith-Rowe played wonderfully for England. He's going to be loving life right now. Representing his country on a high at Arsenal, on a high at England. Wonderful player on the ball. But here we go. Both have 11 appearances. Mane, of course, more goals. 6 goals for Mane, 4 for Emile Smith-Rowe. Mane, shots. Wow, 37. Telling you that this guy's getting a lot of opportunities. Liverpool, creativity, wonderful. Mane, 37 shots to Emile Smith-Rowe's 16. Wow, that's scary. Assists, well, Emile Smith-Rowe's got himself 2, Mane's got none. And of course, the shot accuracy there, 35 to 63% respectively. Now, that's going to be a battle in itself. We've got ourselves a player on form on that left-hand side, and so do Liverpool. Now, I'm hoping that Emil Smith-Rowe can take advantage of their Trent Alexander Arnold. Let's hope for that. Now, I'm keeping this screen up real quick, and I'm going to compare the final two players, Mohamed Salah and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I can't believe I'm comparing these two guys. It's like apples and oranges, and that's me calling a spade a spade. And Liverpool fans saying, you're comparing Salah to Aubameyang. What do you want me to do? That's all I got. All right, relax. That's all I got. God's sake. Anyway, you could have loaned us a striker. Fuck. Anyway, no love. Mohamed Salah, 11 appearances, 10 bloody goals. Comparison to Aubameyang's 4. 44 shots. Comparison to Aubameyang's 25. Now again, 44 from Salah, for God's sake, shots. 37 from Mane. This is a team that's creating a lot, guys. If they're getting these shots, they're creating a shitload. Let's be honest. Assists, Salah, 7 assists. My God, the form is in. 55% shot accuracy. And if you look at Aubameyang, he's only got himself 1 assist. 1 assist and 48% shot accuracy. What can I say, guys? What can I say? Salah, phenomenal player. Salah, threat. Salah, hard to stop. Call a spade a spade. When we're looking at these two teams, we see one team's top heavy, right? And maybe Arsenal have got the battle of the midfield one. And when it comes to defensively, maybe we might have that as well. But just by a whisker. Just by a whisker, we might have it defensively, right? Now, I keep saying we've got one of the best defensive lines in the EPL. I keep saying it. And I'm saying it here too. I'm saying it right here too. Now, I'm just going to go in and start giving you guys my opinion on how the game could go, right? Robertson is hopefully for Liverpool fans, he's going to play. And if he does, it's going to make it really hard, very hard for Arsenal to go down that side. That flank is going to be covered. Robertson's a great defender. Now, Trent Alexander Arnold, that's the player I'm looking at. Loves going forward, great attacking threat, great free kick. Attacking-wise, wow, what a player. Defensively, woeful. Woeful. And that's what I want to expose. Now, my problem is of late, and I said this in the yarn, that we keep going down the right-hand side. Now, arguments were made that the right-hand side, when it came to Watford, had Rose there and he was a weak link, and we had to expose him. That's fine. Now, Sionsu for Leicester, same thing. I called it. In a back three, he's going to be a bit weak, right? And so we travel down the right-hand side. I'm just hoping that now we're going to see that Alexander Arnold on as a right back is also a weak link. Only when it's coming back. That is when it comes to defending. Now, if you look at the game against Brighton, Trossard was open early on, and that was because again Trent Alexander Arnold. Now, Alexander Arnold, a goal threat, yes he is, but Kurt Zouma, what happened there? Who should have been picking up Kurt Zouma? I'm pretty sure Trent should have been picking up Kurt Zouma. So Trent defensively, I'm pretty sure Jurgen Klopp's going to see this and say, I need you to start stepping it up defensively, but I don't think it's going to be something that can just turn on because Trent's been on this for a while. Great going forward, a little bit how you going when it means to coming back. Now, because Liverpool's attacking threat of Salah, Mane, and Firmino, which won't be Firmino, probably Jota, is so scary, many a team couldn't take advantage of that. Brighton have taken advantage of that, and so have West Ham. Now, West Ham drove through the midfield. They drove down the same side of Trent Alexander Arnold, and so did Brighton. They kept on going down the right-hand side and then shifting into the midfield. And I hope we can do the same because it worked. It did. And it got Brighton almost a win against Liverpool, right? And it saw West Ham take 3 points from them. Now, I'm hoping that in this game, we can do a bit of the same. I'll be happy with 1 point. I'll be over the moon for 3. I'll be down if we lose. Do you know what I mean? But look, it all depends on what Arsenal's going to show up in this game. End of the day, is it going to be an Arsenal that's going to come in and take the game to Liverpool? Because that's what needs to happen. We need to take the game to Liverpool. Because if we don't take the game to Liverpool, then they're going to roll over us. They're going to have great fun with us. We're going to sit back and they're just going to stand and just go wave after attack. Now, don't forget, top heavy. If we allow them to keep attacking us, we're playing into their strength. We need to shift the ball into the midfield and start pushing back. Their midfield is woeful. Guys, look at those last 2 games. Their midfield let them down. Okay, Trent Alexander Arnold defensively let them down. We need to expose these. We need to expose Liverpool in these areas. And maybe we can come out with a win. Maybe we can come out with a draw. But hey, let's break it down. If we do not concede a goal, that's 1 point. And possibly 3. Defensively, we're looking good, guys. Defensively, we're looking good. Now, look, Liverpool team's not going to change much. Well, I don't think it's going to change much from how they shaped up against West Ham. You know, they're going to have their Trent Alexander Arnold. They're probably going to have, I reckon they're going to have Matip beside Van Dyke, and they're going to have Robertson if he's fit. They're going to have Hendo if he's all right, Fabinho in the middle, and Ox on the left in the midfield. Then, of course, it's going to be Salah, Jota, and Mane. That's them, 4-3-3. They're not going to change that. Liverpool, like we were saying in the football capital, don't have a plan B. They don't know how to throw a kitchen sink at a team. They know that their plan A is phenomenal. And if we allow them, their plan A will take us apart. Now, Arsenal, on the other hand, I believe we're going to line up much the same. I think we're going to line up with Ramsdale, Takahiro, Gabriel, and Ben White in the middle. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of make a funny call. I actually am going to ask for Nuno Tavares to hit the bench here. And I know everyone's going to say he's in great form. I understand that. But defensively, he's not great. I need someone to take care of Salah. Tierney, on international duty, has been looking good, right? Tierney defensively is a lot better than Tavares. Maybe not when it comes to an attack, but when it comes to defensively, he is a better left back defensively. Now, don't get me wrong, he can also go forward. He hasn't gone forward for us in the games that we've seen him in, but who knows? Maybe after international break, if he gets a call up against Liverpool, he might be up for it. So I'm calling for Kieran Tierney to play on the left-hand side and not Nuno Tavares. Middle of the park, praying and hoping Thomas Partey can start in this game. Please, we need him. He's our Fabinho. Samuel Lokonga beside him. Is there going to be anyone else? No. Now, if Partey don't start, it's going to have to be, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And I copped a bit of flack on Instagram. But if you're going to tell me Ainsley Maitland-Niles isn't going to be a good fit, tell me who the hell is. And not just, that's not a good idea. Well, what is, morons? If you're going to say something ain't good, come back with what you think. But of course you can't think because you guys are all sitting on bloody FIFA. Yay, let's buy players. Wankers. Anyway, on the right-hand side, we're going to see Bukayo Saka, and I really need him to step up. In the Premier League, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been much of a goal threat. Yes, he has created a little bit for us, but he hasn't been much of a goal threat. Now, I need him to step up in this game. Emil Smith-Rowe, in great form. I need it to continue. I need him to expose Trent Alexander Arnold. Hopefully, we can take care of Trent in this game. Get some goals early on, and hey, defend the lead. Because again, if you looked at the stats that I showed previously, that's one of our strengths, defending the lead. Bugger it. All out defend. You know, I don't care. 3 points, 3 points. Up front, Alexander Lacazette, and of course, it's going to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang if he's fit. Now, if he's not, dare I say, we might see Lacazette up front with Odegaard feeding Lacazette. Now, that is not going to be very much of a threat against Virgil van Dyke and Matip. I'll tell you that now. It won't be. And they're probably going to have a laugh at that. So hopefully Aubameyang can start. Now, I'm not saying Aubameyang's a massive threat. I'm just saying he's more of a threat than Lacazette at the moment. That's my lineup, guys. That's my predicted lineup. I'm hoping that we're going to come out with 3 points. You know what? I'm hoping for 3. Realistically, we'll probably get 1, right? I'm seeing, in my head, my gut is telling me that we could win this game 2-1. My head's telling me it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Let's hope we don't get a loss, guys. Let's hope we don't get a loss. Now, look, I really appreciate you guys subscribing and commenting and getting on with this channel. I'm doing the best I can. Really, I am. Sorry for the previous week. Of course, I didn't do anything for Watford, but I'm doing my best to come back. The yarn is going to be back and forth. I mean, every 2 to 3 weeks with the boys, and hopefully, I can try and deliver some great content for you guys. Hopefully, I've wrapped up this Liverpool game as best as I can. I don't want to go for too long. I don't think anyone wants to sit here and listen to my shit for fucking 20 minutes. All right, but look. Like, share, and subscribe if you could. I'm trying to grow the channel. Hopefully, I can get my subscribers up. I mean, they're climbing ever so slowly, and hopefully people like the content. Comment below, guys. Please comment below. Let me know what your lineups are. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think of the content. You like, you don't like, goes too long, all that kind of stuff. I love feedback, yeah? But look, from the Aussie Gooner to everybody out there, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. And it's Uru, guys. Uru.